The Sunderbans is the world's largest mangrove forest and a UNESCO World Heritage Site spanning the border of India and Bangladesh. This landscape is home to nearly 10 million people who live alongside some of the Earth's deadliest predators. Driven by poverty, residents of this region are forced to extreme lengths to survive and are forced to take risks that few others would dare contemplate. Learn more about the honey hunters of the Sunderbans and one of the world's most dangerous jobs on this episode of Everything Everywhere Daily. This episode is sponsored by Mint Mobile. Now that the holidays are over, you might be feeling like you got a big spending hangover. The drinks, the holiday food, the gifts, it all adds up. Luckily, Mint Mobile is here to help you cut back on wireless spending this January with 50% off unlimited premium wireless. You can get 3, 6, or 12 months of unlimited premium wireless for just $15 a month. All plans come with high-speed data and unlimited talk and text delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. And that's why I recommend Mint Mobile. You can get the same mobile experience you have now, but for less money. This January, quit overspending on wireless with 50% off unlimited premium wireless. Plans start at $15 a month at mintmobile.com/EED. That's mintmobile.com/EED. Limited time offer. Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan required. $15 a month equivalent. Taxes and fees extra, initial plan term only. Greater than 50 gigabytes may slow when network is busy. Capable device required. Availability, speed, and coverage varies. See mintmobile.com. This episode is sponsored by Quince. A new year is upon us, and that means new resolutions, new goals, and maybe a new wardrobe. If you're craving a winter reset, start with pieces truly made to last season after season. Quince brings together premium materials, thoughtful design, and enduring quality, so you stay warm, look sharp, and feel your best all season long. One of the sweaters I recently got from Quince is something that I have been wearing almost every single day, and I love it. By partnering directly with ethical factories and top artisans, Quince cuts out the middleman to deliver premium quality at half the cost of similar brands and often even bigger discounts. Moreover, those competitor prices are often listed right on the Quince website. Refresh your winter wardrobe with Quince. Go to quince.com/daily for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada too. That's QUINCE.com/daily. Free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/daily. The Sunderbans are the world's largest mangrove forest, spanning southern Bangladesh and eastern India, where the Ganges, Brahmaputra, and Meghna rivers meet the Bay of Bengal. They're a vast tidal wetland known for dense mangroves, shifting waterways, and some of the world's deadliest wildlife. Life in the Sunderbans is challenging. The people who live in the region face significant economic challenges. Poverty is rampant. Nearly 50% of the people in the area live below the poverty line established by the Indian government, a line that would be far below what is viewed as poverty in the Western world. More than 20% of the people who live there depend on the forest for their livelihood, and this dependence takes many forms. The forest can provide fuel wood, nipa leaves for weaving, foraging for food, and honey gathering. The money they make is often immediately used to repay debts or fix aging homes or boats if they're a fisherman. In addition to their financial woes are the risks posed by the persistent piracy in the region. Pirates often extort money from locals and have a disturbing practice of stealing the resources gathered by those who braved the forests in search of honey or crabs. Mr. Abdus Salam, a Sunderban gatherer, noted about the pirates in an interview with the BBC, quote, "If we don't pay them, they will kill us mercilessly. This job is full of risks." The people who brave the region have also had to bear the brunt of modern civilization's advance. Much of the ecosystem that makes up the Sunderbans is under siege, as the region has experienced significant deforestation. Estimates of forest recession in the region have reached 20% over a decade. The retreat of these forested lands has brought the people in the region much closer to the wildlife that lives there. As a result, the people who depend on the forest for their livelihood are now working side by side with some of the deadliest predators in the world. The region has several dangerous predators that interact with those who use the forest. Animals in the forest ecosystem include venomous snakes, leopards, and the largest crocodiles in the world. The Sunderbans saltwater crocodile routinely reaches 20 feet or 6 meters in length and is an apex predator. The crocodiles provide formidable resistance to the fishermen who follow the banks of the delta throughout the forest in search of the coveted crabs of the region. They pose a great risk to the forest visitors, as anyone who seeks its treasures are forced to cross small creeks, branches of the river, or walk along its banks. Data suggests that human-crocodile interactions are highly fatal, with Indian ministries providing data of nearly 10 deaths per year. However, the most famous resident of the Sunderbans is not the giant crocodiles or the poisonous snakes, but rather the Royal Bengal tiger. These magnificent creatures routinely top 550 pounds and are renowned for their speed, grace, and ferocity. The tigers of this region are adept at tracking and killing deer and are also highly evolved, well-adapted swimmers. These remarkable animals are agile climbers and pose a serious threat to the people living in and around the Sunderbans. And all of this brings me to the main point of this episode: honey. The forest is home to some of the world's most prized natural honey. The Sunderbans saltwater ecosystem provides a unique form of honey compared to other types. A quick Google search reveals that honey from this region is sold at prices exceeding $50 a pound or $100 a kilogram. The region's honey hunters, called mawali, use ancient practices to gather the precious honey. They begin any search with a prayer to the Hindu goddess Ban Bibi, the protector of the forest. The hope is that under her watch, the hunters can ensure a safe journey. According to Hindu tradition, Ban Bibi watches over the honey gatherers as she is engaged in battle to subdue the tiger demon Dakshin Rai. When they're in the forest, the honey hunters use smoke to neutralize bees, as well as their elite climbing skills to get to the hives. Honey from the hives is gathered in bamboo baskets and taken to local merchants. Unfortunately, the smell of the smoke also has an ancillary effect. It draws in the presence of the Bengal tigers. Despite their danger, the mawali are not well compensated. Recent studies indicate that these hunters only earn $70 to $80 per year during the 3-month gathering season. And that is not a lot of money considering the dangers that the honey hunters face. The greatest danger is far and away the Bengal tiger. According to the Nobel Prize-winning economist Amartya Sen, quote, "In a good year, only about 50 or so honey gatherers are killed by tigers, but that number can be very much higher when things do not go so well." The tigers are protected by the government as an endangered species, their status all the more precarious as the Sunderbans forests have eroded with each passing decade. The gatherers who take the risk to collect the honey are not protected. Their sole protection comes from their ritual worship of the goddess Ban Bibi. Unfortunately, her benevolent nature is not enough to keep everyone safe. A trip to the region is fraught with peril. The tigers of the Sunderbans are not afraid of humans. They don't turn and run at the sight of people. It's quite the opposite, in fact. Tigers are not usually predatory towards humans. However, in the Sunderbans, the forest has experienced an abnormally high death rate. According to statistics compiled by the Bangladeshi Forestry Department, tigers have killed nearly 1,400 people over the last 63 years, with estimates that 81% of tigers have killed more than one person. So what causes this abnormally high tiger death rate in the Ganges Delta? The region has experienced several high casualty events, primarily typhoons. These cyclones have caused the disappearance of hundreds of people, most recently Cyclone Amphan in the spring of 2020. This high casualty event claimed more than 100 lives in the region, some of whom may have died in the forest, leading to the tigers scavenging of human flesh. The amount of prey the tigers have access to has declined, in large part to deforestation in the region. Sadly, the impact on tigers when there's a surge in tiger attacks can be catastrophic on the population of the endangered animal. While statistics are difficult to gather, some estimates point to more than 100 tiger deaths per year, and many likely go unreported. When tigers kill humans, terrified Sunderban people often take matters into their own hands and kill the tigers. Tragically, tigers have posed significant threats to rural populations on other occasions in Indian history. The tiger-related deaths in the Sunderbans are not the worst, but they have the longest history given the nature of human-tiger relationships in the forest. The unfortunate record for a Bengal tiger feasting on human flesh occurred between 1907 and 1914 in the Champawat region of India, near the border with Nepal. It was here during the final period of the British imperial control of India that the tigress of Champawat, a single tiger, claimed 436 lives. The first kill was a 6-year-old girl, killed while she was cutting back grass near the edge of her village that the tiger would come to terrorize. Shockingly, or perhaps not shockingly, given the self-interested nature of British colonialism in India, the British colonial administration didn't even get involved until the tiger had been responsible for more than 200 deaths. For a period of more than 7 years, the tigress evaded capture until she was finally felled by a British colonial agent named Jim Corbett, who had followed a trail of blood from the beast's final victim, a 16-year-old girl from the region. Experts in animal behavior have studied the case diligently since the killings began in 1907. Why would this tiger reverse patterns of behavior and start to kill human beings? And why would the tiger kill in such stunning volume? The best answer points to a physical trauma that was discovered in the tiger's past. As it turned out, the tiger had likely been shot long before the killing started and had sustained significant dental damage that made it impossible to pursue the tiger's natural prey, deer and wild boar. The tiger had several broken teeth, which prevented her from attacking larger prey, forcing them to deviate from their normal pattern of tiger behavior. Another fundamental reason, which brings us back to the modern day in the Sunderbans, is the encroachment of human populations on animal habitats. As village life transitioned to a more urban landscape, it brought people into traditional tiger habitat. The Paleolithic tradition of hunting and gathering persists in certain groups around the world, even as people in modern times often endure harsh conditions to survive. Nonetheless, the number of hunter-gatherer societies remaining today has significantly declined. The cultures that draw inspiration and dependence from honey are even fewer. Those groups that maintain the tradition draw economic and cultural strength from their work. In fact, the Hadza people of modern-day Tanzania live as hunter-gatherers and place great emphasis on honey gathering. Like the honey hunters of the Sunderbans, the Hadza people engage in small-scale sale of their honey, often through NGOs or to international markets. But unlike their Sunderban counterparts, the Hadza have not faced the same threats from the lion population surrounding their area in Africa. Lions hunt differently from tigers and live in very different social habitats. Lions, while certainly formidable, are not nearly as stealthy as tigers, which makes an invisible adversary in the mangrove forests. Unlike the people of the Sunderbans, the Hadza also have a helping hand in their honey hunting in the form of a bird known as the honey guide. The honey guide indirectly, or as the Hadza people believe purposely, leads gatherers to their honey. Like the people of the Sunderbans, the Hadza have a deep relationship with honey, and it's factored into their religious and cultural practices. The risks of living in close proximity to declining predatory habitats poses a grave threat to the people of the Sunderbans. Outside observers of life in the Ganges Delta note that many of these gatherers bear significant scars and physical deformities from encounters with apex predators in the forest. As one Sunderban gatherer said in an interview with the BBC, quote, "If we can get any other work, we will happily do that. If a tiger kills any one of us, we cannot be afraid and stay at home. If we don't come here, we won't be able to feed our parents and children. It's our life." End quote. So the next time you complain about having to go to work, just remember those who search for honey in the Sunderbans, who have to brave saltwater crocodiles, poisonous vipers, and man-eating tigers just to earn their living. The executive producer of Everything Everywhere Daily is Charles Daniel. The associate producers are Austin Oetken and Cameron Kieffer. Research and writing for this episode were provided by Joel Hermanson. Today's review comes from listener LTomp11 over on Apple Podcasts in the United States. They write, newest San Antonio completionist member. I found this show this year and have enjoyed catching up on the 5 years of episodes you've produced. Keep up your incredible random work so I can continue to annoy my friends and family with my newfound facts. Well, thanks, L. Tomp. Congratulations on your ascension to the Completionist Club. Make sure to check out the San Antonio chapter headquarters, which is conveniently located on the Riverwalk. The password to get in is The Alamo. So to gain entry, just remember The Alamo. Remember, if you leave a review of the podcast on any of the major podcast apps, you too can have it right on the show.